unedited. All right, people. It's live, uncut, unedited. In the house. We in the house tonight. We got two lives coming tonight. And make sure you come on in. We want to talk about the children and it's going on tonight. Come on in, come on in, come on in. This is live, uncut, unedited. All right, make sure you share live, share it. We need you to share it. We get the word out. We are talking about our parents for children. There's a lot going on, people. A lot going on. Come on in, come on in, come on in. All right. Come on in. This is live, uncut, unedited. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. This is where we tell the truth
And what?
and shame the devil. All right, come on in, people. Come on in. 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 We got a lot to talk about. We got a two-part series today, and we want to talk about it. We got a two-part series today. All right, make sure you guys share the video. I need some people come and share the video now. When you're sitting on here and don't share the video, live, uncut, unedited, so we can get these people on here so we can talk. We got a good subject tonight. Somebody need to talk about. Somebody need to hear it. So let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, people. Let's make it happen. All right, come on in. Y'all coming on in slow, but that's okay. I'll take slow to no show. So I won't have to keep repeating myself. Yep. Our children are speaking, parents. They are speaking. And we got to talk. Because some of us, I told us we handle these video games and these nice hairdos and all this stuff like that. And listen, and that'll be it. And we ain't paying no attention. And some of us guilty of it, probably include myself. We buy all these little trinkets and keep them busy, and we need to focus more time on our babies. All right. And I've been told if we don't find them nothing to do, they're gonna find something to do, and we might not like what they find to do. You know, we might not like it. So, might not like it. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're gonna take some calls today. We're gonna be on about an hour. Then we got two parts. We got two shows today. So I got Mark Wallace coming in today. We're gonna talk about 10 by 10. We need to get that political power, people. We need that political power. We definitely need it. Let me see my folks. So what's up, Nathan? What's going on, brother Nate? I see you, brother Nate. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you, brother Nate. My brother Nathan. I see you. I see y'all. Hold on and let me make call in. Come on in, people. I'm sorry, y'all. Uncut, unedited.
And just before you speak, please
Renee
turn
Jackson,
down all
all right,
your
I see you.
audio. Please turn them
Gilda,
off
all
or
right.
down. And do
Jermaine
not have us on
Maxwell.
speakerphone so we
All
won't
right.
have
Ronnie
an
Johnson.
echo. And
Henry
we'll be with you
Hartsfield.
shortly. Thank you so much.
Phil, I'm sorry. Juanita Andrews. All right. All right. You know, we're gonna chime in on some on a couple of screen sharing today. And we're gonna chime in on what I put on Facebook. Let me find it, because on these different stickers and these young people talking, and we ain't paying no attention to them, and that's not good. That's not good. We got to pay attention to our young people. Our young people are talking. Yeah. All right, here we go. That's what I wanted right here. All right. All right. Make sure I get it in. All right. Put that on the screen. We got a lot going on. People, a lot going on. All right. Put that up. Put that up, and people, it's so much going on. You know, it's so much going on. All right, people. I hope you guys can hear me clear. Hope I'm loud, live, uncut, unedited. You know, we got to tell the truth and shame the devil.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
All right. All right. I believe a psychiatrist, a lady counselor, was talking to a lot of youth, and this is what she got. She wrote some things down, and I thought it would be a great, interesting subject tonight to talk about that. Give this about an hour. I know it's going to be a heavy conversation. And one of the things that you see right in front of you, it said, lying to me when I ask if you are okay makes me not trust myself. I am connected to you. 15 years old. I mean, people, look at this one. When I annoy my mom, it's because I want her attention. I didn't get it any other way. I didn't get it any other way. 13 years old. My parents are always busy on their phone. Why I'm here makes me want to leave. 9 years old. Wow. I love my mom and dad, even when they yell at me. I always love them. I wish I knew that they love me as much. 10 years old. All right. Little people got feelings. My mom says in a minute and hours go by, this is why I yell and demand she forgets me. 16 years old. Okay. I feel like a bad kid when I make a mistake, usually because my parents thinks I did it on purpose. 7 years old. Wow. If I ran away, my parents wouldn't know. They don't say good night anymore. 6 years old. Ain't that something? Telling me that you are disappointed in me kills me. I didn't do what I did to hurt you. I was just learning. 13 years old. All right, people. We got a lot to talk about tonight. And I think this would be a great conversation to talk about. I need somebody to call in. You see the number 872-299-0808 or 872-297-6389. You're more than welcome to call on in. And so we can talk about some of these. Now, we're not trying to finger point, but this goes to show you that these are what our little children think. That's what they think. Exactly what they think. That's right, Larry. Big Brother Live Uncut on there. The original, authentic crime tape. Martin G, that's it. Y'all know what it is. All right. Star King, get busy. I got a caller. I got another one caller. All right. Religioso. Religious. Okay. So what they saying, some parents are not paying attention. That's right. Good evening, all. Deborah Singleton. All right. Tell the truth and shame the devil.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
918. Come on, caller. We got.
What's up, brother?
What's going on? How you doing? This Oklahoma?
All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's going on, Oklahoma? Man, what you think
All
about
right,
this
I guess
stuff?
I'm the first caller.
Yeah, yes, you are. Go ahead. Talk about it. Let's talk, bro.
I want to share something with you, man, when and the listener. And we just was recreational. Me and my wife, we raised our boys, and once God delivered us, our baby told me, he said, "Dad, you know what? That I did not like when y'all used to smoke house. It would hurt my stomach, man. And even when through God changing my life, it just, man, it crushed my inside. You see what I'm saying? Wasn't doing it deliberately, or it was just, it happened, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we gotta watch our kids, man, what we do. So when it came about, and that 360, what God did for us, and raised them to be God-fearing young men, man, what could imagine now if we still was doing that and God hadn't changed our life, man, and they could be doing any and everything. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to share that with you and the people, man.
Wow, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
That's a great testimony.
man, that bit me to the core, and I was like, I mean, and I was like, son, I never knew, but kids, they not gonna just deliberately sound made, but he wasn't just gonna tell us that, when he got, older, but it was just like, we just take it for the matter of fact, man. You see what I'm saying? And it's just, man, kids will see that, but he don't do none of that today, man. They don't do it today, and they're grown. So I thank God for that, man. You see what I'm saying?
Wow. It's, man, you know
Yeah.
what? When our children get old enough, as you see on these little sticky notes, they don't need to be old enough. They recognize things right now as being youth, young adults, not
Yeah.
even adults.
Yeah.
They see stuff, people. They see stuff, man. And listen, people, I thought this is wonderful. Man, Janet said, Martin, my friend, did this at her church, and those kids said some things that had her crying. I believe it. We got another caller coming online. I'm gonna get you caller. Just hold on, 5625. I tell you, this is real. This is real. If you didn't get my notification, you need to go back and reset it, because sometimes Facebook don't, they just take it away. They take it away. 5625. Come on, caller.
Hey, Martin. I'm the one with the notification. I'll go back and reset it.
Okay, reset it, because Facebook.
But you know what?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
It's so sad, Martin. But I'm going to ask you one question. When you was growing up, how many times did you hear your mother say she loved you?
That's not too many times. Not too many times.
Not too many.
Wow.
And you know what? And I didn't either. And that's what these little kids are saying, that
yeah,
it's
I know my father never said it.
My
that I
father
do
never,
know
and
that.
neither did my mother. Yeah, exactly. But again, so now these kids are in a whole different generation, and their mother is not telling them, because it was. And I'm not making no excuses for those notes, because it's real. And what the kids are saying is that they're not hearing that, mommy, son, I love you. Good night. Basically, those notes are saying like, she's into her boyfriend. She's into this. What about me? And let me just be honest. I was like that too. But then I had to think about, I didn't ever hear my mother say she loved me. But then that's why I started telling my son every day, like, I love you. When I drop him off to school, the last word when he get out the car, I love you, baby. I love you, mama. I love you, baby. I love you, baby. But again, all those kids is just saying like, they don't have their mother attention. The word love, we love our kids, doesn't come out our mouth as usual, because you know why? They didn't say it to us, And all the kids are just saying is that if their mother would just be like, take an hour or 30 minutes just to say, I love you, read a book with them. It's sad. Now I really understand with those letters to why some of these kids can turn to the streets. Like,
They ain't got nothing else to turn
and
to.
I'm not justifying it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
yeah.
we so lucky. Huh?
Hold it. Let me get to next call. I'll come back to you. 3268. 3268. 3268.
Hey, Martin.
Hey, how you doing?
It's Roosevelt.
Hey, Roosevelt, how are you?
I'm doing good. I heard what you was talking about on this evening, and I know it's a little bit off topic, but it just seems like, some of the stuff that is going on with our children, I think it leads to our children maybe having, maybe some anger issues or, leave them not resolving. Like, I'm pretty sure you heard of the girl downtown who was stabbed by another girl. And now, they just arrested this 18-year-old who's the same age as my goddaughter, by the way. And, as far as I'm concerned, both of their lives are gone. Because, I mean, do you think that some of this stuff that is going on, like with our children, is because of us adults? Even though I don't have children of my own, saying I love you or paying like attention to maybe other things, or maybe we're into our own lives, or whatever, much so that we forget to give our children, some of the tools, to try to resolve conflict and things like that.
Well, Roosevelt, let me say this. These little sticky notes that we're reading, these are children crying out. Some teenagers, some 7, 6 years old. And when they don't get the attention that they crave and desire, guess what? You got the street gangs, you got drugs, you got strippers, you got the gay bars, gay clubs, all that's going to invite them with arms wide open. So we don't pour into our children with love and attention and affection. Guess what? They're going to get it. And where they get it from, we might not like it. So it's really not what you said. It's not off the subject. It's not off the subject at all. Because
So
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, brother. Got another call. Go
So
ahead.
do you think I think it's a different generation now, because barely my granny, my mother, my grandpa would tell me that they love me, but they still show the love for me. Like it's different with me and my wife. We tell the boys, kids, we love you, every night or whatever the kid. But it wasn't done in our household. But I knew my grandma and my grandpa and my mom, they loved me, you see, but they didn't say it on a regular basis.
Well,
so
some people,
it's just,
brother,
go ahead.
It's like a woman, your wife. You should often tell her you love her. You can't just tell her on her birthday and on Christmas and Valentine and the rest of the months you don't hear. You have to reassure a woman. In the same way when we're dealing with children and teenage, we have to reassure them. You have to keep reminding them, now, I love you. I love you. Son, daughter, I got discipline on you. I love you. But hold it right there. Let me get this caller right here. 4154. Come on, caller. 4154.
Hey, Martin, how you doing?
Good.
It don't cost nothing to tell a kid you love it. It don't cost you one red penny to tell a kid you love them. You have to tell these love them. I read the sticky notes too. It's sad. They crying out for love. So as parents, they need to be held accountable. Tell your kids you love your kids. I tell my grown child I love her. It don't cost you nothing at all.
But it's more than just love up here now. Let's go through this list. It's more than just love now. It says
yes,
I love my mom
they crying out.
And my dad, even when they yell at me, I always love them. I wish I knew that they love me as much. That's 10 years old. My mom says in a minute and hours go by, this is why I yell and demand she forgets me. The 16-year-old, the teenager. I feel like a bad kid when I make, usually because my parents thinks I did it on purpose. 7 years old. All right. If I ran away, my parents wouldn't know. They don't say good night anymore. So it ain't just about saying I love you too. It's communicating. Telling me that
Right.
you are disappointed in me kills me. I didn't do, you got somebody noise. I didn't do what I did to hurt you. I was just learning. 13 years old. Lying to me when I ask if you are okay makes me not trust myself. I am connected to you, 15 years old. When I annoy my mom, if I want her attention, I didn't get it anyway, any other way. 13-year-old. My parents are always busy or on their phone. Why I'm here makes me want to leave. 9 years old. Look at that, man. All right, I got another caller. Hold on. 7956. This is a real serious conversation, people. Not to be played with.
Yes, it is.
7956. Come
How you
on,
doing?
caller.
Hey, Martin, this is Nathan.
Hey, how you doing, Nate? Come on with it.
I can remember being a little boy, being 6 or 7 years old. My dad he was always verbally abusive, most times physically abusive, and he never used to tell me that he was sorry. It was more like he did these things because I'm your daddy, and if I could do this the way I want to do it. Now my mom, she was on the other hand, she always apologized. No matter what she did, if she yelled at me, she'll say I'm sorry. And I tried to raise my daughter to tell her if I said something to her that was wrong. I was, as a parent, I felt bad about it. So I never whooped my daughter. I never spanked my daughter. I always would talk to her. Because what I didn't get from my dad, I used that as positive motivation towards my daughter. And that's where it starts. And me being my age, my dad, he still can't say that I'm sorry. And that to me is like a problem for me, because it's like when he did things, it was like, I'm your daddy, I can do what I want to do, and you can't do nothing about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you
My
know
father was the
Can I
sort of
say
the same
something?
way.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, sister. I got another call. Go ahead.
Being a parent don't come with a manual or instructions. You have to be humble with kids, but you also got to listen to your kids. By me being a parent, I have made some mistakes, but I have always apologized to my kids.
Okay. Roosevelt, you want to say something real
I
quick?
would always do it.
Go ahead, Roosevelt.
Yeah, I would always do it because I think in my household, even though I know my parents love me and trust me, at almost 50, Lord willing, in December, and my father, Roosevelt Sr., being almost 90 in January, Lord willing, believe it or not, I've never held that against him, that, my father could do something or whatever. And then, my father never really apologized. I don't know where that is or where that came from. I never held that too much against him because I've never completely understood it. I don't know why that is. Because I grew up in a pretty religious household, let me say. And it's been times, even to this day, that my father, he'll always pray before he goes to sleep. He'll always, I heard him. I always say, God forgive us or whatever. Now you can add one thing you can ask God to forgive you or God to forgive us, but yet you can't ask, somebody who you see, the next human being that you'll see every single day to forgive you. Sometimes I don't get it, even though I've never held it or whatever against them. Maybe it's just one of those things I never understood. Or maybe it's a parenting thing, and because I don't have children, maybe I will never understand it. But at the same time, I would have to say, if I had children, I know that that's something I would always do, even to the common human being. If I make a mistake or do something wrong, even if it's not completely wrong, I'm one of the first to apologize. That's how you're supposed to do as a person.
Okay. All right. Oklahoma, you still on the line? He probably gone. I think he gone. Okay. 9168. Go ahead.
Hey Martin,
Hey.
love the topic today. I just want to just add my little 2 cents. Um, I actually was one of the children, a child in a single home raised by a mom who had 7 kids. But my mom always told us she loved us, and the great thing about it is that we had a village of our family
Mm-hmm.
that would come around us, like my grandfather, and they would spend so much time with us, telling us stories about their life, and also just letting us know that we were important and how to navigate life. So it was like a lot of just pouring into us. I can remember I had so many good memories of like us teaching us how to play the harmonica at night, telling us stories when we went to bed. So those are things that like I think is missing. And even though, you know, you can feel like you had a deficit because, oh, you didn't have a father in your life, I always felt like when you had that community of grandfathers, and my heart always go out to kids who don't have any father, no voice of a father affirming them. Because I'm telling you, that makes a difference.
Mm.
It
Well,
just makes a difference. And I'm not speaking out to no other women, but it was because of that. And we grew up in Inglewood, you know, but my granddad would go out his way to make sure all the grandkids
okay.
had births and things like that. But just to hear his voice, you know. So I would say parents, they have to make time. It's you can't do any time is everything. And I don't care. A lot of parents feel like, oh, you know, it happened to me, but this how I was raised, and nobody gave me this, so I'm not gonna give my kids that. But
Mm.
don't you know your kids love you? I always say you are the most important person in your kid's life. They want to be just like you, everything you doing. And a lot of people don't understand that when you become a parent, that's who they are. Could nobody say nothing about my mama. And people would talk about my mama saying, oh, she had all these kids and trifling and all that. But I'm telling you, those kids love their mother. They love their parents. And they want anything for them. And I think parents need to understand the weight they hold
Mm.
in their children's life. They need to understand their place, because if they understood the role, then we wouldn't take it so lightly. You would speak to those children. It would be easy for you to talk to their future. No, not gonna be that. Yes, you're gonna be there, you
Mm.
know, and we would affirm them. But if we take the role of being a parent so lightly that we do not speak life into these kids, and we wonder why they speak death, like the young lady on some of those notes. Why am I here? You got to tell your child why they're here. I tell my mother all the time, speak to your grandkids. Tell them their purpose. You don't understand when you speak life to your children, they listen. They will not forget nothing else. They gonna remember what their parents said and their grandparents told them.
Mm.
So
Okay.
you can stop the devil in this way, you
Okay.
know, but a lot of people do a lot of word cursing
Okay. Hold it.
against their children. They
Right.
call them every B and
Right.
H out of the world, but
Hold it.
don't speak highly of them.
Hold it right there. Let me take this new caller. 0404. Hey, caller, you're live, uncut, unedited.
Hey, hey, how you doing? I'm calling because I just tuned in to you on Facebook and some of you talking about parents.
Okay, so you don't know what you got to listen up. You don't know what we're talking about, bro. Just
Yeah, I was hearing what the lady said, so I was want to tune in and I want to say something pertaining to that. But what's the topic, man?
oh, brother, listen, just listen in. You're feeling. Just listen in.
No, I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to say nothing wrong, but I
No,
do
no,
have a
I
comment.
respect that. That's why I'm not gonna hang up on you. All I need you to listen in.
Martin.
Hold on, let me handle this. I'm talking to the gentleman.
Okay.
Let me
Okay.
handle this. I'm gonna come back to you. I want you to listen in and look at it. If you got the screen in front of you, read the little sticky note that's on the screen. That's what we're talking. We're talking about children speaking to their parents and crying out. So that's what we're talking about. What our children, how our children view us. We lack of giving them a proper attention. So that's what we're talking about. So I'm gonna go to somebody else and I'll come back to you. I know who you are. That's cool?
Okay.
All right.
No problem. Thank you, Mark.
All right. Go ahead, my dear sister that wanted to say something.
I wanted to say my daughter has been through something bad also, and my daughter is getting her bachelor's degree. So yeah, you have to speak life in my kids. I tell both my kids.
Somebody put their phone on mute. Hold it. Somebody put the phone on mute, please. Because I'm hearing the echo. All right. Go ahead, my dear sister.
I said my daughter is getting her bachelor's degree.
Okay.
At the age of 17. So yeah, she's right. You have to speak life into kids. You have to tell your kids you're gonna be better than me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and let me just
and
say
you
this.
also have to tell these kids you love them. You gotta hug them.
Yeah, let me say this, people. This more than just saying I love you. This is more about that. This is what these little sticky notes. I'm gonna read them again. Lying to me when I ask if you are okay makes me not trust myself. I am connected to you. 15-year-old person wrote that. I don't know if that's a male or female. Now, when I annoy my mom, it is because I want her attention. I didn't get it any other way. 13-year-old. My parents are always busy or on their. This ain't talking about just loving your child, but listen what they have to say. Why am I here? Makes me want to leave. 9-year-old. All right. I love my mom and dad even when they yell at me. I always love them. I wish I knew that they love me as much. This is a 10-year-old. Don't feel love. My mom says in a minute, and hours go by. This is why I yell and demand she forgets me. The 16-year-old. I feel like a bad kid when I make a mistake, usually because my parents think I did it on purpose. A 7-year-old. Wow. If I ran away, my parents wouldn't know. They don't say good night anymore. 6-year-old. This is, come on. Telling me that you are disappointed in me kills me. I didn't do what I did to hurt you. I was just learning. 13-year-old. So these are the things to see. Hold on, sister. I'm gonna let my brother talk. He can get an idea. Come on, 0404. Come on. Come on, 0404.
Okay, so
I know you got an idea.
okay,
now.
I'm
Go
here.
ahead. Okay, come on.
I definitely do. So, and this is home to me because I have 3 little girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a fight. It's been a battle trying to. Somebody got me on.
Hold on. Everybody put their phone on mute. Put your phone on mute until I call on you. 04. Hold on. I know who it is. I know who it is. That's Eric Code. Eric Code 44. Put your phone on mute until I call on you. 404 Eric Code. Put your phone on mute. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, my brother.
Okay, so my situation, I'm gonna just talk about myself. And I got 3 daughters. And I've been into cahoots with their mothers because of the situation and how it unfolded. But when we was together, I can sense and I can tell that they came from dysfunctional households, meaning they didn't have a mother. Didn't have a father, didn't have a well-equipped, educated mother. So I had to be the mother as well as the father because she didn't have a good example of what a good mother was like. So I recall my daughter at the age of 3. She was like, Mommy, I want to do this and this. I'll sit down in the corner. Hold on, see what she's talking about. No, she's been talking all day. I want to hear her. Well, you need to have more patience with our daughter because she's trying to tell you something about what she wants out of life, even at that age. And my daughter was super smart, and she's super smart, tested over and beyond, out of the charts. And I knew it. I can sense it because I feel it. And I was the one that was with her most of the upbringing, the child upbringing, until she was about like 3 or 4. And I still recall her saying, Mommy don't act right. Mommy don't do this. Mommy don't do this. So I used to go to her mother and say, look, man, this is what I'm going through with your daughter. And mother was an angry type of person because her family upbringing wasn't right. So it's a generation curse. And if we don't break that, it's going to keep trickling down to our kids. So that's one thing that I can say, that we need to start listening to our kids. We need to start giving them the patience that they deserve, as well as know that they are human beings and they are connected to us, and they feel everything that we say. They can feel the things that we say in a different way, right? So that's one thing I want to say.
Hold
on, brother. I got somebody behind you now. You can't tell a full story. I got somebody behind you.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right. Area code 404. Come on, caller. Area code 404. Area code.
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry for the interruption
No
earlier,
problem.
but I just wanted to say that, sometimes it skips generations. Being 60 years old, I knew my parents loved me, but they never really said it. I had a conversation with them when I was in my 30s and just told them how I felt about them not sharing that with me. And from that day forward, never hung up the phone or never left them without them telling me that they love me. They showed me and the gifts and the things that they gave me, but never said it. From that point on, they never not said it to me. But I say this to say that I had grandparents who instilled love in me. My father's parents took us to church every Sunday, picked us up from school on Fridays, kept us on the weekends. They showed up. And that's how I learned how to be a grandparent. I have 2 grandchildren that I show up for. I tell my 15-year-old grandson that I love him. Every year, he has to pick a state off the map, and we visit that state. And not just that, I talk about his schooling with him. He's in high school. How do you feel? Kids are treating you different. Sometimes he's the only black child in the class. And I tell you, when we have to, as parents, we have to be present. And because we didn't get it, or some of us didn't get it, we have to know and learn that it's much better, because now the times are so much different now. I wouldn't.
Let me say this before you go any further. People, this is what I want you guys to get. It's not just a matter of telling your son or your daughter you love them. It's a matter of communicating with your son and your daughter, with your children.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of what we're looking, these sticky notes that we're reading, that is showing that there's a disconnect between the parent and the child. Now, it's just more than just telling your son or daughter you love them. You got to get, you got to spend some time with them. Now, listen, a lot of us, brother, I'm gonna let you go for 404. A lot of us, we buy our children everything that we didn't have, instead of teaching them everything we didn't know. And we need to spend time with them. Time is so precious, people. It's so precious. We have to put in that time. and that engagement, that one-on-one engagement. But go ahead, my dear sister. 404. Go ahead. I had to cut you off. That came in my spirit. So
Yeah,
I
totally agree. I
Go ahead.
totally agree with you saying, because I speak to my grandson who's 15, will be 16 soon, and it's so different. The times we lived in is different from the time that they're living in. So we need to get on their level. We need to know that the bullying is going on, the drugs is going on in schools, so many things that's going on that we probably didn't have to deal with, or if we dealt with it, we swept it under the rug. And you know how parents say what goes on in the house stays in the house type of stuff. No, be open and honest about everything and teach them how to communicate, because if they can communicate with you, they can communicate with the people outside of the house, and they would know how worthy they are of love and everything else.
Mm.
It hurts my heart that I hear so many times on the news and stuff that so much is going on, and I feel so bad for a lot of children. Not saying that I am perfect or any of that. You know, we all have issues, but it's just too much going on in these schools and out here in these streets that these kids have to deal with. It's just terrible.
Well, I'm not making no excuse.
But we have to start in the house.
But that's what I'm saying, sister. The whole thing is, let's get back to the subject, is the parent. We have to connect with our children, our grandchildren. We have to connect with them. They feel in a certain type of way.
We're so busy doing everything, and work is not everything. I mean, I know we have to work to survive, but it's not everything, because I would quit a job in a minute if it meant that I had to have some one-on-one time with my child or grandchild. It's worth it. I'm sorry. I love you. That's all I have to say. I love you.
Right.
I love
it. Everybody, do me a favor. Please share this video or tag someone into it. Please do that. This is important. We should have hundreds of people on here. Tag somebody in this video.
Can I say something?
Yeah. Go ahead, my dear sister.
So listen to the letter. So you get a letter from a two-family home, meaning a father and a mother, and you get a letter from a single-family home. Whether it's a family, a father, a mother, your sticky note came from. It doesn't matter because it's two-family home, or a father or mother, or just a mother. It's all about communication and showing your child love and being in their life.
Because I understand we so busy, occupied, working, going to work, getting everything ready, but we have to take time out to attend to our children. Where we don't do it. This is a 15-year-old. 15-year-old said lying to me when I asked if you're okay makes me not trust myself. I am connected to you. This is a 15-year-old saying this. Here's a 13-year-old. Hold on, sister. When I'm a mom, it is because I want her attention. I didn't get it anyway, other way. So 13-year-old. Now here's a 9-year-old. My parents are always busy or on this is one right now. Why I'm here makes me want to leave. 9 years old saying it.
This is what he said. Parent, which means it's the father in the house.
Hold on, sister. 10, I'm talking. I love my mom and dad. Now this goes to two single parents. Two households. Even when they yell at me, I always love them. I wish I knew that they love me as much. 10-year-old. So this particular 10-year-old don't feel love. My mom says in a minute, and hours go by, this is why and demand she forgets me. 16-year-old. Now here's a 16-year-old. Now listen, if this is a female, a lot of our teenagers having sex at 12 and 13 and 14-year-old. Now, whether we want to admit it or not, they having sex. Trust me. And
who gave her that?
Hold on, sister. Hold it, sister. Hold it. What I'm telling you, what I'm trying to say, people, if we do not pay attention to our 16-year-old, to our children, there are other things that are outside the house that they will pay attention to. Listen, the gay people would love to pay attention to them. The gangs would love to pay attention to them. The carjackers would love to pay attention to your child. The scammers would love to pay attention to your child. When you don't pay attention, they're going to seek that attention out from somewhere. And it might be, most of the time, it's not probably from a good source, a good place. Last one I'm going to read. And I'll let you talk about this. I feel like a bad kid when I make a mistake. Usually because my parents, now here go two, plural, thinks I did it on purpose. 7-year-old. Go ahead, my dear sister.
You know, and that's the one right there that hurt my heart, because you know why? They don't even believe in their kid when he said, I didn't do it, Mom. That hurt my soul. So he's telling them, I didn't do it. They saying he did do it. But you know what they're saying, Mark? They don't know their kid and they don't care. They just getting on him because whoever said that he did it, school or whatever, they believe in the school. What he's saying is they never once took the time to say, hey, baby, tell me what's going on. What happened in this situation?
Now, let me say this now. You know, and I know children lie. And some of these parents, y'all know your children be lying. You don't want to listen. I'm gonna say you. I got to say. I got to tell the truth and shame the devil.
Tell the
Not in
truth
every case.
and shame
a lot of
the devil.
teachers tell y'all parents about your young children. Y'all don't believe it. Most teachers spend more time. Hold on, sister.
Okay.
Most teachers spend more time with y'all children than y'all do, especially when they awake. So what I'm telling you, no parent want to hear about their son cuss a teacher out. No parent want to hear about that their son is a bully. No parent want to hear that their son brought a gun to school or their son or daughter doing drugs. No parent want to hear bad things about somebody they love. And there's an old saying that says, loving eyes don't see no wrong. I've seen parents talk about other people's children, but turn a blind eye when it comes to their children. Don't be that type of parent. We need to sit back when we speak to our children, when we ask them what happened, we have to evaluate both sides. We have to be fair. We want to believe our sons and daughters, but we have to give them a benefit of the doubt, because children do lie. They do lie.
That's so true, Martin. And one thing I have to say that every time that they tell you something, they may be a troubled child for 5 years, but one time they may be telling the truth. So just listen and evaluate the situation and give them the benefit of the doubt most of the time. Because you know your children, just like you say, you know your child. But that one time, they may be telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys absolutely right. But I'm going back to that sticky note. That child is crying out.
All of them are.
And you
all of them, not just that particular child. All of them crying out.
But that sticky note, that child, evidently he was telling the truth. And it killed his soul that his parents did not know him to say, okay, he's lying. Okay, we'll deal with this at home. Did nobody defend him? Read that sticky note again. That's all he's saying.
Hold on. It's not a matter of defending. As a parent, you have to be a righteous judge when it comes to situation. If your son or your daughter come to you and tell you that her boyfriend is looking at her or him, now, the parent in her mind is saying, well, he paying all the bills. If I put him out, we might have to go to a shelter. So, boy, you sure he was looking at you like that way? You say he was looking at, see, now you doubling back. You're not believing your child. Now, when a child come to you and tell you something, now children have been known to lie, to say the adults touched them. That have happened.
It happens.
I'm telling you, it happens. Am I right, Roosevelt? It happens. It happens.
Yeah, it happens. And I mean, and it's very bad when it does happen. So, I mean, what do you do in that kind of situation if you think a child is lying on the boyfriend or the husband or something like that? Oh, I swear, I would not want to ever be in that kind of situation.
Well, you got to be.
Me neither.
Listen, you have to be. You really have to do a thorough investigation. You got to watch. Some things you won't know until you start watching certain things. Okay, give you an example. If a child go to their parent, their mom, and say, "Hey, your boyfriend coming in my room. He ain't touching me, just standing over me. I feel him." So now, as a parent, we have to start watching, being observant. You know, when the male gets up, when he get up and go to the bathroom and all that, we had to get up too and watch. Just had to, just watch, because you can't just say your child lying. You just got to how somebody come and talk to you about a certain person, and you don't really want to judge. You want to get them benefit of doubt, but you're keeping it in the back of your mind. Okay, they told me this person's a troublemaker, but I'm not going to judge them on what this person said. I'm going to give them a chance, but I am going to consider what they said. And that's what we have to do. We have to judge, investigate, because our children, we got a small window to listen to them. After a while, they figured out that we'd never listen to them, believe me, they probably would never open up to us. I mean, even my daughter. Hold on, sister. Even my daughter, we riding in the car. She on her phone all day. I told her, get off that phone and listen and talk to me. Just in that voice. We have to do that, people. Now, sometimes I'm in the car on the phone and she on her phone. So I had to check myself too. I said, hold on, this is supposed to be dad and daughter time. Let me get off this phone and pay some attention to my daughter.
And I think, and I really think that that's the disconnect in everything these days. That I think that we are so occupied with, technology and on our phones. Because, I mean, one policy I have, because I think when you get a certain age, I think it's about setting clear boundaries. And I already said in my mind, this is already something I've already fixed in my heart and mind, and I've already settled in my heart and soul. That if I'm not going to even say nothing. If I'm on a first date with a young lady, and she spends most of the time on her phone instead of talking to me, and I'm talking to her, and, she's getting a chance to know me, I'm getting a chance to know her, I'm not going to say anything, but, that might be the very first date, true enough, but it will also be the last. I'm not going to take that kind of, rudeness and disrespect anymore. So I feel like that is almost a 50-year-old man. What do you think, going back to our subject, the children feel like if they have something to say, they really want to say something, because that one sticky note that you read and everything, the child and everything, said, I want to talk to my parents and everything, but yet the parents and stuff are always on their phone. I think that's the one that helped to bother me the most.
Mark.
Yeah,
hey, Mark.
Can I say something?
Okay, go ahead, sister. Then Marcus, go ahead, sister.
Remember about 10 years ago, they said they was going to put a chip on our hand. And y'all never thought about that the chip was going to be defined?
Pretty much.
Wow. I didn't, wow.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but Marcus, go ahead, Marcus. Brother Marcus.
Check it out, Mark. Hello? Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead.
I have a situation where this topic kind of it touches home with me, because I had a situation where one of my children, both of them came to me and was like, Daddy, I'm like, what's going on? My grandma keeps telling us to say to these people that you put your hands on us. And I'm like, what you mean? She say, she said that you touched us in some type of way. So my oldest child said, yup. And I said, what you mean, yup? She was like, yeah, that's what our grandma trying to make us say. But we keep telling her, no, that's a lie. Now, I went to my child's mother and I said, what is this that I'm hearing that they telling me? She was like, yeah, my mother be tripping sometimes. I said, listen, you don't know what you're doing. You got to tell her she tripped. She is going over beyond trying to fuck up somebody's life. And
that's a dangerous thing
due to the fact that I had a relationship with my kids at an early age, they could come to me and tell me when somebody's lying. Now, if I didn't have that bond with my children, anything could have happened. They could have went to the police, but my kids fought for me at an early age. They spoke up on the character of their daddy, knowing that wasn't right. So there's some trauma in people's lives, and it gets passed on. Okay, so I don't know what her parents went through, but my kids, from the love that I showed them, they was able to come and talk to me and let me know that their grandmother tried to plant some seeds of doubt and some false information to mess up my life. And that's the love that a father has with their children, that they could be honest. If you give them the proper love, and I taught them at an early age, look, this is what you got to watch out for. If somebody's lying, you come and tell me. And that's what they did. And because of that, it separated me and my child's mother, because she wants them on her side. But my kids only know love from both parents. They only just know love. They're kids, they're innocent. But when you put manipulation involved in it and child support and all of that type of stuff, their right is right.
Mm-hmm.
They'll make their wrong right. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm telling you something that's serious. This is a matter. That's why I asked the question in the very beginning, so that I can really explain to you, it's some real messed up people out here. And it's nothing you can do about that, but try to give them kids proper love so they'll do the right thing and be able to speak and tell their truth, right? Because sometimes fear gets put into the kids, and then they don't have nobody.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
So right now, say I'm fighting for my kids.
Hold on, sister.
I'm fighting. Okay.
I'm gonna finish. I want to ask him a question.
And
real quick.
And that's the problem, that there's no respect, right? And it comes with education. In any debate, you got to let a person talk and say they side and then reply. But we don't have that. We want to overtalk people, we want to outtalk people, and we need to stop that.
Mm-hmm.
We need to give people the respect. Respect is what the world is missing right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's no respect. The kids don't respect the parents. The police don't respect the people. The government don't respect the land. It's all messed up. Yeah. They took God out the picture. Right. So without no God, it's all just destruction. I'm just telling you my life and the things that I've been through. And right now I'm fighting.
But let me say this. I think you handled it well, but if I were you, the time that it happened, I would have got grandmama on the phone. And I would have let grandmama have it too. I would have let her have it. I said, listen, grandma, I don't know what you trying to do or accentuate, but I don't need you telling my children, trying to promote my children to say something bad against their dad, their father. So, next time that happens, if it ever happened again, anybody listening to that, you go right to that source and attack that source, because your name is all you got out here. You don't want nobody to taint your name.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like me getting on here and hold on, brother. This is like me getting on here saying somebody got AIDS. I'm repeating some hearsay.
Ooh.
That's a terrible thing. But I can get on here and apologize, but the damage is already done. So you have to be careful what you say, people, when you say things. Sometimes we say things because we don't like a certain person. He ain't what we want for our daughter and all that. You can't do that. You can't do that. A lie is so easy to believe because people don't like people no way. And like me, if it had been me, I'd have got on that phone, paid grandmama a visit, say, listen, baby, you can't do that to me. I know who I am, and I love my children. I would never hurt them. And for you to try to influence them to say something against me, shame on you. Shame on you. Sometimes hey, Mark, you got to look that devil straight in the eye and point him and call him out. Because see, the devil like to work in darkness behind your back and sneak. You got all different types of snakes. You got water snakes and tree snakes, snakes that be in the grass, snakes that be in the sand, and they'll bite you. Some of them are venomous and some of them not, but they all bite. That's one thing all snakes got in common. They bite. So we have to be careful, people. And that brother gave a good example today what can happen to any one of us on here. anyone. Those are some strong accusations. And I appreciate the brother coming on here and
I would
saying
not want to be on that side.
Yeah, that's some strong accusations. And that's why you got to be careful repeating when people tell you something about other people. You got to stop that. You know, putting stuff on there, calling people. Hold on, sister. Hold it. Sister, I'm talking.
Okay.
Man, we have to do that. If you believe a person is homosexual, you keep that to yourself. You ain't got to go out and just start spreading rumors about a person. I believe he gay, you know. And now when it get back to the other person, now you looking all crazy. You know, we have to be careful. Even myself, with a platform that I have right now, I have to be careful what I say. I have to give an account for what I say over this platform and how I treat you, all of you guys. You know, so this thing is serious. And false accusations, that's a terrible thing. I think, did you want to say something again, Mark? Because sister wanted to say something.
Yeah, I'll just sum it up. So the lady can speak.
Okay.
I just had to tell that because there's a lot of lies getting told, and you got to have a relationship with your kids. That's the main point that I was trying to make. That I established a ground with my kids at the early age, so they can come to me and tell me things.
Okay.
So that's what. Thank you, Mark.
Hold on, I got 2 markers on there. Sister, I'm gonna let you go, and I got another caller, which is the other markers. Come on, sister. You want to always interrupt me. Come on.
I just want to ask.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just want to ask the Marcus. He keeps saying as an early age. So at some point, did you disappear out your kid's life?
No.
But this is what I want to commend you. This is what I want to say. You set the foundation when they was young, so they knew that they daddy loved them. So that's why they came back and told you whatever they told you. But
let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this in his defense. When you hear a man say at early age, that means he bonded with his children. He bonded with them. That's all what that means. He bonded with them.
And that's what I said.
Now, relationships, you could be with your baby mama and all y'all can live in a house. And for some reason, it don't work out. She go her way. Most of the time, when the mama leaves, the children goes with her. In most cases. Not all cases, but in most cases. So it's a good thing that Marcus, he bonded with his children at a young age. And that's why a lot of these men can walk away from these babies because they have nothing in the game. If I need nothing in the game.
No regret.
They never bonded with the child. They don't know the child. So that's why they can walk away and keep going and make another family. But when you bond with your child, no matter if you meet a fine woman and she come along and say, hey, well, I don't want you talking to your other baby mama. He's not going to allow that. Like me, there's no woman out there, I don't care how fine she is, how much money she have, that's going to ever stop me for talking to my adult children and my teenager. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Because people, they come in our lives, they leave. But your children will always be your children when they are a child, and when they grown, it's always belong to you. But come on, Marcus 0152. Come on, Marcus. Other Marcus. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was looking at this topic, and a lot of these parents are not spending enough time with their kids. And then something too that I can relate to, being lied on. A lie can destroy you. And people need to be careful what they're saying. Just because you don't understand what's going on, and you don't have to go around and lie on them and say they this person and they're not. Particularly lying and saying that somebody is a pedophile or gay and they're not, and then you have other people believing that lie who don't know them and treating them a certain way. Or worse yet, they get killed because of your lie, or they get seriously hurt because of your lie, or their reputation is ruined because of your lie. There are a lot of people out there that can help these kids, but they've been lied on by other people, by other adults, and the kids have been put up to lie on the adults by other adults. So Our families, black families, are missing family time. I grew up in a household where we were loved. You don't just, these parents just having kids. Some of these kids was hit by somebody they met at the club, or they met on the basketball court, or they met at the trap house while they was doing what they do. And they don't love these kids. They send these kids out to mentors, to the schools, to the park districts, and expect for their kids to get love from those people. But those people, that's just a job for some of them people. And that's not their job to love your kids. You need the dinner table conversations need to be had. The phones need to be put up. They buying these kids all these fancy phones and everything, and they don't even have a conversation with their kids. It costs you nothing to take your child downtown and see the city. Downtown is free. Now, maybe the restaurants ain't, but downtown is free. Why I like to go down there so much? My mother took me down there. It was free and showed me you could have this. You could be living in one of them big buildings one day. You can do this. Family time is important. These kids are missing love, and they're going down the street trying to get it.
I agree.
Fathers are definitely important.
I agree with you. Go ahead, Nathan. Nathan probably hung up. I don't know. Yeah. Nathan, you still there? He hung up. But anyway. But listen, and you're right, Marcus number 2. I'm gonna call Marcus number 2. Go get 2. And you're right, brother. And we have to be careful, people, slandering people's names and stuff, defaming people's names. You don't know, we don't know it to be true and all that. Hey Marcus, I had an incident where I had some people was talking about you one time, and I said, you know what? Y'all gonna say whatever you want about him, but I ain't never heard no person ever said Marcus touched somebody inappropriate. None of that. None of that. And you know where I'm going, Marcus.
I know, Mark.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
They don't understand
Go ahead, Marcus.
why I shoot the way I shoot. I say it on your line.
Go ahead.
I shoot young men who are models. I don't give them no candy or none of that. I ain't seducing them. I ain't playing no tricks. Any of your listeners have been on my page and they see the type of work I do. That don't mean that I'm a pedophile or that I'm having sex with them. I'm not doing none of that. And they freely do it on their own. If they weren't comfortable with it, they wouldn't do it. Trust me. But the sad part about it in our society, you can go around and lie on somebody, and that's a lie that you can almost get away with, because that's what our society looks to believe. They don't want to see the positive in it. But I ain't trying to reinvent the wheel. I got inspired by that, by looking in magazines and to say, let me take ordinary people. They don't have to be celebrity stars and all that and do this project. Somebody white will do it, and you'll say that it's art. You'll even buy it. You'll sell it in your store. But somebody black does it. I got to say this. They got to be all these terrible names. And just because you don't see me around a woman don't mean I don't like women. But I keep my family business private. You all didn't know how sick my mother was because I kept it private. I don't tell my family. I don't have to put no woman all on Facebook and broadcast her and take pictures just to prove that I'm a man, just like some of you all. A lot of them have been talking. And I respect Antonio Dyson, who walked out of a meeting because a group of people were talking about me in a negative way. And he kept walking. He didn't come back.
Mm-hmm.
And I respect you, Martin, for informing me of the person who was talking about me. I have no respect for him. I'm just sorry. I have no respect for him because he never admitted it. He never apologized. He told off on himself in front of me out there at the Kanika Jenkins protest. Mm-hmm. And never apologize. Never, ever apologize. A person will never apologize for their wrongdoing. And that's Martin.
Yeah, go ahead, Roosevelt.
Yes.
That's
yeah, I can kind of speak on that a little bit because I know exactly like what he is talking about. Because the thing is both of us, me and Marcus, got something in common. Well, two things. Both of us are very visually impaired, and both of us are photographers. Therefore, and I heard it from somebody in my lodge. I guess she heard about this lie before I did. She called me or something and said, somebody is saying that you had done this, this, and this. But then to come to find out, it wasn't me that they were talking about. It was actually Marcus who they were talking about.
Yeah, and I got on Facebook. Martin, remember that? That was during when we was on that bus with Jedediah. Even Jedediah was mad about it. I got on Facebook and I confronted
and I was right there with you.
And I said, how could I have done anything to you when I was in the very front of the bus and didn't stay on the bus because it was taking so long to pull out? I jumped on the Blue Line train and beat y'all in. So how could I have done anything? She got mad and blocked me. Point we're saying
even
is quit lying.
Even the girls didn't believe it.
Right.
The girls aunt did not believe it, because when the girls aunt found out that she had lied and said that a so-called, blind man or whatever had touched her or something, because I guess the girls the problem is, that's what you said, they're troubled. It's like the girl was already troubled already as it is. So when the grandmother, whoever was taking care of her, heard that, the grandmother actually put her out in the street. And her aunt, her grandmother, whoever, actually said that, at the beginning of the month, I might not pay any other bill, but I make sure I pay her life insurance. So that way, whenever she lies on someone or does something or someone takes her out and everything, I can take a body, burn her up, and move on with life.
Let me say this. You can be sued for defamation of character. I could have sued this person that me and Martin know about. I could still sue him if I wanted to. I could sue the hell out of him. Defamation of character, and you tell a lie like that and you ain't got no facts to back it up. First of all, I said this to anybody on your live. If Facebook thought that what I was doing was wrong, they would have reported me. I am also friends with a lot of police officers because I'm a photographer and I've done work for their family and their kids. So if they thought that I was on pedophilia stuff, well, I wouldn't be on this live talking to you right now. But people go around and they tell lies like that, and it's wrong. A lot of innocent people have been lied on. Have been thrown in jail, have been killed because of these people, attention seekers, seeking attention. They don't have a life. They don't have a vision. They live the same old life every day. And quick to point fingers at things that they do not understand. That's why when people have told me stories about people, it goes in one ear and out the other because I'm not quick to believe it. Where is the proof? And then here's how you catch them. You go back and you ask them 2 weeks later and remember what they told you. Don't forget it. Well, watch they tell you a different lie. That's how you know they lying. Kids lie too for attention.
So
they want attention from their parents. So they will lie on an adult.
That's what I was saying. And that's what I was telling parents. You got to evaluate. You got to be, you want to believe your son, you want to believe your daughter, but you have to make sure you judge the situation correctly. And you have to, because we know these children lie, and some of these adults have lied too. Some of you have lied and said this person was the baby father, and he wasn't the baby father. So it can happen. And some of these men, you lie on your bottom part, saying you had sex with this woman. You didn't. Not getting off the subject, but these are the things that we have to be careful. And that's what I said, Marcus, on this platform. I am careful what I say, cautious what I say. Now I may say some things in private, but not on the platform because it's not for the platform ears. It's for whoever I'm engaging with in private. But I got another call, and we're going to take the last caller. We got another show, people. Mark Wallace coming in as a guest, talking about the 10 by 10. We got a meeting place. So we're gonna take the last caller. And
Mark Wallace is cool.
Yeah, 0517. Come on, caller. You're my last caller.
Good evening. How are you?
Wonderful.
Good. It's a privilege to be able to call in and speak on these things with you all. I raised 4 sons. I only had one to fell away, and it's because of attention. sometimes our children is looking for something that sometimes the parent can give it and someone else may be able to help the child. But children do tell stories or make up things for attention, and it takes a lot for parents these days to keep their attention, because a lot of things that these children want attention in areas are areas they shouldn't even be looking for attention. You know, it's something that you all are talking about that, because also on social media under Bella Collective, where the Black women and their families are, you know, they want to say influencing our children, but our children is, we as human beings would do negative before positive, or the easy before the work. And it's just amazing me how that I was just looking at that, and when I seen Martin program, I instantly tried to get the number and try to call in, and I'm thankful that I was the last caller. And I'm hoping that people remember, with prayer, all things can be changed. We take that out of our families. We're afraid to pray in front of our children. I guess it makes people feel weak. But you know, God's word will never be defeated. So as long as we continue to pray and allow our children to know that God is the head and not the tail, we all should be okay going forward. Human beings will do negativity because we are not perfect. In no kind of way. We can strive to be better and do our best. But at the end of the day, we are who we are. If we are liars, we're liars. If we are pretenders, we're pretenders. And those are things people make choices to do. I'm hoping someone understands what I'm saying. I'm hoping that I'm getting across to someone, because we are not alone. What happened to the neighborhood, the village? You know, you can't say nothing to people's kids. You can't even look at them. Oh, you're looking at them the wrong way. You're doing this and that. We need to start focusing in on ourselves and seeing what we're doing wrong ourselves. Because the only way you can see someone else doing wrong is that you're paying too much attention to them and you're not paying any attention to yourself. So I appreciate you all taking my call. You all have a good evening.
You too. All right, people, that's going to end this session right here. We're going to come back on another 5 minutes. Mark Wallace is going to come in. We're going to talk about 10 by 10. We're going to meet up. We talked about the political atmosphere. We want to continue to talk about that, but I'm going to close this session out, and I'm coming right back on live probably within another 5 or 10 minutes, people. So just stay tuned. I want to thank all my wonderful guests that called in. Thank those that wanted to call in. Thank those that's in the messenger. I want to thank those that shared the video, tag someone in the video. Thank you so much, because see, this is the type of video that we should have a lot of people on be listening, because this is what's going to help us. We talking about stopping crime. This is stop crime right here. I tell you, when you learn, school is in session, people. We have to learn, people. Here I am, a man with a platform this large, and I'm telling you, I'm cautious of what I say about people over this platform. I'm cautious because I have to be held accountable. I'm very cautious. So people call me. They want me to put up criminals' faces and all that. I said, no, I don't do that. I just report on the crime. If I didn't see the criminal with my own eyes, most of the time, I'm not going to put him or her face up. Now, if the CPD put him up, I'll put him up. But I'm not the police. And I'm not going to lose my life for you to get justice for your loved one. I hate to say that, but I got to keep it. I got to tell the truth, because some folk
tell
want justice so bad
and shame
and they don't mind somebody else getting taken out so they can get it. But I won't be the fall guy at all. You'll never say the crime chaser said you killed my brother. No, you won't say it. I don't put myself out there like that. I mind my business and I report from a distance. That's what I do. It's been working for the last 6-7 years. I keep it that way. It's not broken. I'm not going to try to fix it. And I respect the dead. Also, I respect the family of the dead. And I respect the criminal that did it, because it's not my business to tell who did it. Now, I'm not going to hide the criminal, but at the same time, I didn't see him do it. So I can't say he did it. Hopefully I got that across to some people out there. Thank y'all, people. This is live, uncut, unedited. I'll see y'all in a little
You
bit.
already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited.
This is where we tell
the truth.
And what?
And shame the devil.
And I
love being